What if one voice could unite the world? What if music wasn't just something you hear, but something you feel deep in your soul? Across oceans, across cultures, there are songs that entertain. And then there are songs that awaken. From a small island in the Caribbean came a man who didn't just create music. He created meaning. A man whose voice carried the weight of struggle, the fire of resistance, and the hope of millions. This is not just the story of a musician. This is the story of Bob Marley. Bob Marley was born in 1945 in a small village called 9 Mile, Jamaica. A quiet place surrounded by hills, far from the spotlight of the world. But his life was never simple. He was the son of a young black mother and a distant white father he barely knew. Growing up, he didn't fully belong anywhere. Not fully accepted by one side, nor the other. And in that isolation, he learned something early. Life was not fair. But struggle has a way of shaping something powerful. Because when you have nothing, you start searching for something greater. And for Bob, that something was music. As a teenager, Bob moved to Kingston, to a place known as Trenchtown, a place where poverty was everywhere. Narrow streets, crowded homes, and nights often filled with tension. But in the middle of that hardship, something extraordinary was happening. Music echoed through the streets, from radios, from corners, from people who had nothing but still chose to sing. This was more than sound. This was survival. And in Trenchtown, Bob Marley found his voice. Not just as a singer, but as a storyteller for the people around him. Alongside friends like Peter Tosh and Bunny Wailer, Bob formed a group, the Wailers. In the beginning, there was no fame, no big stages, no global audience, just small crowds and a dream. But something about their music felt different. It wasn't designed to impress, it was designed to speak. Songs about injustice, about survival, about people who were often ignored. And slowly, that honesty began to resonate. The rhythm of reggae started to rise. And with it, so did the voice of Bob Marley. By the 1970s, something incredible was happening. Reggae music was no longer just Jamaican. It was global, from Kingston to London, to Africa, to the United States. People were listening. But more importantly, they were feeling it. Songs like One Love carried a simple but powerful message. Unity. No Woman, No Cry told stories of pain, but also resilience. And suddenly, Bob Marley wasn't just an artist. He became a symbol, a voice for the unheard, a bridge between cultures, between struggles, between people. But influence comes with a price. In the 1970s, Jamaica was divided. Political tension filled the streets. Violence was everywhere. And Bob Marley stood in the middle of it all. In 1976, just days before a peace concert, gunmen stormed his home. Shots rang out. Chaos. Bob Marley was hit. The message was clear. Stay silent. But silence was never who he was. Just 2 days later, wounded, bandaged, still in pain, he walked onto the stage. Because to him, music was not entertainment. It was responsibility. After the attack, Bob left Jamaica. He went into exile in London, far from home, far from everything familiar. But sometimes, distance brings clarity. And in that space, he created something timeless. The album Exodus. Body of work filled with movement, with reflection, with freedom. It wasn't just music, it was a journey. And even miles away from home, his voice only grew louder. But behind the music, a silent battle was unfolding. Bob Marley was diagnosed with cancer. And even as his body weakened, his spirit did not. He continued to perform, to sing, to inspire, until 1981, when the world lost him, at just 36 years old. But something remarkable happened. His voice didn't fade. It spread across generations, across borders, across time. Because Bob Marley was never just a man, he was a message. And messages like his never die. One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel all right.